everybody, how you doing? Hopefully doing good. If not, hopefully I can cheer you up, at least distract you. Cheers, I got my coffee. Wind is really blowing. Cheers again. Alright, it's not that hot, but the chemicals or whatever the coffee has warms me up. It's not so much that it's hot. Anyway, let me count the ways of what went wrong with the PlayStation Classic that came in. I found that there's a chip on it that's overheating, and it might be the cause of the USB ports not working. The USB ports themselves, I don't think are burnt out. People say that, but I think it's the chip itself. It was melting the plastic, and they used the plastic itself to be a heatsink on one side. They should have put a heatsink on the other side, but the way it was positioned, they figured no, they'll opposite heatsink it. So the chip is on top, right? Let's say it's on top, right there, flat. They should have put a heatsink on top of that, but instead, I think it's underneath. Yeah, underneath, there's a plastic heatsink underneath it instead. Now, I don't think that's at fault. What's at fault is that they didn't give us a brick, a power supply that we could add to the cord they gave us, whatever the cable they gave us, and it's really a shame because it works great. I found out what the voltage should be. As far as I'm concerned, that might be the best way to go. Some people use their chargers. I don't recommend it. Some people use 5 volts, 1 amp, they say. Sure, if it's working fine, I guess it's probably okay. Probably better than what I'm gonna do. I've done a ton of stuff. Oh, I gotta show you this thing somehow. I don't know if it's plugged in or not. Hold on, hold the phone. I'll be right back. Why didn't he just start recording again? Because I like to make you guys feel like you're here for a moment, because like you're in the not like you're in the waiting room for real. That's not my point. The first point was the right one. Look at this makeshift I did. Looks like some kind of flying object or something. All the cords are coming out of here. The air's coming out of here. And this is pushing the air into the system. It's going right through. Reminiscent of what I've done with the PlayStation 2, the fat one. And this works. It cools it down quite a bit, substantially. And at one point I had the power goes. Yeah, there's no power right now, but the power goes in that hole. You can see it right there. And that hole isn't really letting too much air out. There's still quite a bit of air going through it, and it still gets hot. There's nothing I can do. I've gotten to the point where I'm going to show you that too. I'm going to get up for that too, because I'm probably going to get up for a few things. It was such a bad idea to get up. I'm going to put this over here though. Now some of you are going to say, oh now come on, that's too much. So this is 6 volts. It's like the opposite of what somebody else did. Maybe 5.5 volts. Okay, might sound reasonable to get this thing to work. If I can find something like that. No, I can't. But the reasonable thing that one person did was, I don't know what I told you they did. That person did. What that person did, if I'm repeating myself, I think I might not be. I might have made a mistake. I get the volts and the currents mixed up. What I was trying to tell you, I think, before was what the person did was 5 volts and um, 1.5 amps. Okay, 1.5 amps, because that person, I guess, was having the same trouble a lot of people were. But I'm not hearing complaints from everybody, only certain people, and that's it. I don't, it must have been a big deal, big problems with this um, uh, PlayStation Classic. So this one, like I said, you guys are gonna say this is too much. No, not the fact that I did this. No, not this. That's not too much. This is 6 volts. I did something similar because they say you can go up a voltage, and but something about this system, the way it works, it has to be exact or something else. Now, exact would be 5 volts, and current should be 100 milliamps or 1 amp, whatever you want to call it, and it's not working with that. It's not working with my outputs for the computer. Just like a host of things I could tell you about this thing, and this is just a few examples. So then I turned it to micro, as you can see. The 6 volts are from something else that I had there, and 1,000 milliamps. I made sure that that stayed the same because I'm going up with the voltage, and hopefully I was hoping that this thing would ask for the voltage that it needs. Okay, that this will not force it, and I don't think this is forcing it. I doubt it. I'm not sure. I think there's something about it that has to be exact, and it's I'm not sure with this one. I just think that some of them are faulty, and that's how I feel about it. And right now it's just a compromise for the power supplies that I have to give it, and I'm gonna decide to get the there is one they say that works very well by Anker. It's a dual power supply, and that one you could be playing your game and you could be charging your phone at the same time. And speaking of chargers, I tried the Nyko charger. Okay, that's supposed to work just fine, and it overheated quickly. Did it overheat quickly? No, it just didn't work. It just didn't work well. It turned it on. Everything I tried to turn it on with did turn it. Everything that I used that did turn it on did make it get a little hot and shut down after a while. The controller ports. This chip, I do think, like I said, to repeat myself. If I am repeating myself, I'm pretty sure I am this time around. This chip, I think, is responsible with what happens to the controller ports in the front. Okay, and they're not working. They're not working. But I made a video for you guys with the PPSSPB on the the PSP emulator on the Windows 10, and one of the games that was playing on it was pretty shoddy, but it was just to show you more buttons working and stuff, and to show you that the controller works on the computer. That's the main point of that one. So it's not the controller, it's not that one. I didn't try the other controller, which I'll do real soon, but I won't show you that. I'll just do that on my own. But obviously it's not the controller that's wrong, and it's obviously not the sockets that are burnt out or whatever, the PCB board, whatever, for the USBs sockets. I don't think there's nothing burnt on the board itself as far as that's concerned. It's that main chip, I'm pretty sure. It's really messed up. Anyhow, hope you're enjoying that. I forgot what it was. I'll see pretty soon what it is. Oh, Joust. I remember now. It's Joust. I don't know. I wonder how it looks. That's a Nintendo, either a Nintendo or Famicom game. I'm not sure. No, it's Famicom because it says Joust. Did I say Famicom? It's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed. Or at least I hope I at least distract you guys, because so I saw some of you asked for and something interesting, especially on top of that. What am I gonna do? Okay, the 120 gigabyte game box is coming in. 128 gigabyte USB game box is coming in. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to hook up the controllers to the back and clear up the clutter. See if, well, not clear up the clutter, because I did want the controllers in the front. There are people that are using the front for for the controllers, and I can't. And I think I'm gonna use the back for the for everything, for everything. For the game box, I have to get a new. So it's gonna take a while before I do this. About 2 more weeks or so. Next month, in other words. Some of you get my drift. About 2 more weeks or so. I'm gonna get a OTG with power. I'm gonna need that. Um, there's no other way I'm gonna be able to do this. I don't think you can take a hub that's meant for a signal and run power through it. I don't think so. I don't think it works that way. I'll find out. I'll do some homework and see if a hub can run some controllers, USB, and power. But I'm doubting it. Hoping it will work. I'll look it up and see if it's true. Like I said. Anyway, like I said, thanks a lot. I don't know if I said it, but I'll repeat myself if I'm saying it again. I'm saying it again. Okay. Please like and subscribe if you feel like, if you're feeling me. And yeah, I remember I said it. Take care.